I'm in Leicester Forest East today with local resident Kerry Harrison. They've been experiencing many environmental issues over a number of years. Kerry, what's been going on?
Flies. We are inundated with flies. We live near a recycling plant, and in the summer months we can't have a normal life, basically. Outside life in the garden is impossible. We can't cook meals inside the house. We very often in the summer have takeaways because we can't cook. We can't even have a barbecue outside because you're just inundated with them. And I don't mean there's one or two flies. I mean they're in their hundreds.
Yeah. And I know it doesn't affect you, it affects many residents in the area.
Yeah, so I started a Facebook page when I first moved here because I thought it was just something that happened in this house. And there's 2,000 people on that group now. So we live on Packer Avenue, and this is one of the worst affected areas because CasePak is literally 180 metres from my back door to the back door. So it's like having a rubbish tip in your own garden.
And you've contacted the councils over the years, and we've kind of hit a brick wall really in terms of getting some enforcement action going on. Yeah,
so I go around in circles because Leicester City Council own that sort of area.
Yeah.
So we've spoken to them. When the building was given planning permission, it was for a different permit than it has now. So it was just for dry waste. And in 2017, they had a new permit where they could take wet waste and also 700% more waste. And I've contacted the planning department, but they've said because it's 10 years old, it wouldn't stand up in court. I think that's a bit harsh, really, because if I put an extension up, and it was 10 years old, they'd make me rip it down.
Quite. I think that's something that we need to look into further. I mean, I've contacted the Environment Agency, and I'm not satisfied with the response that I had, particularly around the enforcement side of things. I know you've got concerns around the work that's been going on in terms of those inspections and environment agencies, haven't you?
Yeah, well, 6 years ago I wrote to Sir James Bevan, who was the CEO at that point for the Environment Agency. Never got a response from him or his office. It was put down to the local engagement officer. Since then, Philip Duffy is now the new CEO. I've been asking for 6 years to put an official complaint against the Environment Agency, and they're basically saying they can't raise an official complaint because every time I complain, they respond to the complaint. So I feel like we're just going around in a circle.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what I felt when we first spoke about the difficulty you've experienced. And certainly I've asked questions in Parliament on this, and I support local residents in trying to get a resolution because, as you say, you're going round in circles, you're not getting any answers to your questions from the responsible agencies. I think now is a time when we need to hold the Environment Agency to account because ultimately they're the ones that need to enforce this. And, if CasePak aren't doing what they should be doing in terms of treating their waste properly, then there should be enforcement action against them so that residents can live in peace.
Exactly. Well, this is what I've been fighting for the last 6 years. I'm I'm the chair of a local environment committee, and I also run the Facebook page.
Yep.
So I get it from all angles, really. I spend every Friday from probably about 9 o'clock to about 4 o'clock working on this, getting in touch with people like yourself, the councils, press releases, schools. Everybody is affected by this, and it's got to stop. We can't go. I mean, you've walked this area, you've seen the amount of houses that are for sale. People can't sell their houses because nobody wants to live here. Who would want to live in an area like this? But like you say, the Environment Agency need to be accountable for. They've told us over the years that the company's in its infancy, so every time there's a problem, we raise it with the Environment Agency. And say, for example, on a particular bad day, we've got 500 flies, maybe they'll get 250 calls from residents to say that they've all got this problem. And then they send the regulated industry in, which is the people that go in and just make sure the company should be doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Yes.
But that's a week later on an announced day. And usually it's when the weather's colder.
Yeah, I mean, it's clear to me, I'm not happy that the inspections are being done properly or that it's leading to the right enforcement. So that's something that I'm going to be taking up with the Environment Agency, with your support and the residents' evidence that they've been sending through.
Yeah, well, since they had a fire on the 30th of June, and since then I've asked for all the site reports when they've been in, and every site report reads the same. So it's been copied and pasted, which to me tells me that it's just ticking a box. It's not. They've not been in there properly and checked correctly.
Yeah. Yes, so certainly the Environment Agency is something that we need to really keep pushing on because the enforcement of action against companies like this that are causing real distress to local residents is something that concerns me. So I'm going to continue working with Kerry and other local residents to ensure that we get a resolution to this problem that's been going on for too long.